JHK here for My MMA News, and I am joined by Bam Bam, UFC welterweight, Bryan Barberena. Bryan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks again for having me on.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Now let's jump right into it. Last November, ahead of the Daniel Rodriguez fight, you were rushed into emergency surgery. Talk us through what exactly happened.
Yeah, so ultimately I had ruptured two arteries in my abdomen, and I was getting ready to go into fight week. It was my last day of sparring. It happened on a Friday. Got my last rounds in. The very first round, I had taken a body kick by a training partner of mine, and didn't feel out of the ordinary, extra hard or anything like that. Just was like, oh, that's a good shot. Pushed through, finished my 3 rounds, hung out at the gym, talked with the guys a little bit, my coach, and then, headed home. I live in Tennessee and my camp's in North Carolina. So I jumped in the car and was like, okay, I need to stop and get some food. I forgot to pack my food with me. So I was like, well, I'll just, run to Walmart, or not Walmart, I'll run to stop through McDonald's real quick, grab a salad or whatever, McDonald's of all things, but salad at the least, and get on my way. At that point, I was in the car, I was like having some stomach pain. I was like, man, that body shot just kind of lingering a little bit. It must have been really good shot, better than I thought. I was like, but maybe I'm just hungry too. I hadn't had a good breakfast. So sat in the McDonald's line the whole time, and I got all the way to the dang thing. There was a huge line, so I got all the way to the thing, and I didn't see any salads on there. I was like, hey, do you guys have salads? And he's like, oh no, we don't carry salads anymore. I was like, damn it. So I'm just I'm trying to get home, after being gone all week or whatever. So I run over to Chick-fil-A, get a salad there or whatever, and get on my way, hit the road. Little did I know all these things would add up to save my life. Who knew McDonald's not having salads would save my life? But I was driving. It's a 4.5 hour drive home, and part of the way is through the mountains, and in the mountains there's nothing. There's no cell service is spotty. There's no exits. There's no restaurants, gas stations, nothing really. So but I was driving, I was talking to my wife, and I was like, yeah, I'm having this stomach pain. I took a body shot. It must've been pretty good. And she's like, well, do you want to just pull over and I'll come get you so you don't have to drive or whatever. You can just relax. And I was like, nah, I'll make it home, and, I'll rest up for the weekend, and I'll be ready to go fight week. And then we're driving, and all of a sudden it was like, man, I got like, I'm sweating like crazy, and it was just like pouring sweat. And she's like, are you okay? And I was like, I don't know, my whole body's tingling all the way down to my toes, my face, everything. And she's like, what's going on? Or she's like, maybe it's worse than you thought. And then all of a sudden my vision went out, and I'm driving on the highway, and I can't see, and I'm in this fast lane, the 2-lane or whatever. And I was like, oh, my vision just went out. She's like, you need to get over now, stop. And I was like, all right, well, I just got over real quick, and thank goodness there was no cars there or anything. And all I could think in my head was, all right, when I feel my tires get off of off of the asphalt or whatever, like go into a dip, that's when I need to stop, because I've hit the side of the road. So I swerved over real quick, and as soon as I felt it, I stopped. And she's like, call 911. And I was like, I can't see my phone or anything. And so she's like, I'm gonna hang up and call 911. Where are you? And I told her where I thought I was, which apparently wasn't even where I was. But so she's calling 911 and stuff, trying to get a hold of them, find out, I guess they kept transferring her to different operations because of people run different areas or whatever for the ambulance. Luckily, my vision came back, and I had stopped just short of an off ramp, and I called. My stomach was killing me like just hurting like crazy. So I called the 911, said I need help. I need an ambulance. Told them what happened, and told them, I think I may have ruptured my appendix, or was it appendix? Appendix, is that what it is?
Yeah, for sure. On the lower stomach.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, ruptured my appendix. And so they said, okay, we'll send an ambulance. Where are you? I said, well, this is the off ramp or whatever of what I could see. I said, I'm feeling good enough. I'm going to drive off the off ramp and just pull into somewhere real quick so it's easier. So I did, and told them where I was. It happened to be a church parking lot, surprisingly enough. Like, crazy things just are adding up here. And so the ambulance came, and at that point, it was weird because the pain in my stomach would come and go. Like, it'd be extremely bad, and then it'd be like, not really at all, and then it'd be a little bit, but not too bad. So when the ambulance came, I called my wife back, by the way. So, but ambulance came, and they're like, hey, what's going on? I told them, they're like, okay, well, do you want to go on the ambulance? So I was like, well, wait, how far is the hospital? And they said it's only like 2 miles. I was like, I think I can make it. My wife's like, get your ass out of the car and get in the ambulance. And I was like, but I think I can make it there. And she's like, I was like, I don't want to have to cover an ambulance ride, however much that may cost, when I can make it to the hospital 2 miles away. And she's like, no, get out of the car. You need to get in the ambulance right now. So I did. I got out of the car, and it's like, okay, well, got in the ambulance, and on the way to the hospital, they're asking me everything that happened. I'm like, yeah, I'm having some stomach pain, kick to the body or whatever. I'm having these symptoms kind of off and on. They're like, well, is it hurting right now? I'm like, not right now. It's not really hurting. But I said, it come and go. And then they were like, okay, we're going to give you an IV. And I was like, no, you can't do that. And they're like, why? And I was like, I'm supposed to fight this week coming. You can't give me an IV. I will get in trouble by USADA and everything, and I won't be able to fight. They'll suspend me, whatever. I said, you can't give me an IV unless, it's something major or whatever. And they're like, okay, well, can we at least start it? And I was like, well, are you going to put anything in me, like fluids? And they're like, no. And they're like, we're just going to put the valve in you. And I was like, all right, you can do that. They're like, it'd be best, so that way if you go in and you have to do something or whatever, they can get you an IV right away. And I was like, okay, fine, you can do that. No fluids. I'm going to fight next week. And they're like, okay. So we get to the hospital, and they pull me out, and we're in the back of the emergency thing. And then they start wheeling me to the front of the hospital, to the check-in desk. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, don't I get a room? Don't I get to go back and talk to a doctor right away? And they're like, well, they're pretty busy right now, so we're just going to get you checked in, and I'll get you back as soon as something opens up. And meanwhile, they're taking me out of the stretcher and putting me in a wheelchair. And then I'm like, man, I think I need to go back to a room right away. What if something is wrong? And they're like, so I hear I'm there. They're like, oh, just sit there. We'll get you checked in. So he's checking me in. I hear him. He's like, yeah, he's complaining of some stomach pain, but, the symptoms are off and on. He was on the road, and like just kind of making it nonchalant. Probably my fault, because I was focused. I was in fight mode already. Last sparring session had ended. I was ready to go. Like, mentally, I was there. So, but then I'm sitting in this dang wheelchair, and all of a sudden I start bugging out, having these symptoms again, about passing out, falling out of this chair. And the guy who's standing there with me is like picking me up, and they're like, I don't think he's doing good. If something's wrong. I think something's like seriously wrong with this guy. And I'm like, help me. Like, all I can think in my head was like, okay, I know it's really bad now. And I just told him, like, with the little breath I had, I was like, help me, take me back right now. Something's seriously wrong. I think I ruptured my appendix or whatever. And I need help. And they rushed me back, and the doctor came up to me right away. I was like, I took a shot to my stomach. I think I ruptured something. They threw me on the table, cut my shirt, ultrasound on my stomach. He's full of blood. Call a trauma code. Boom. Next thing I know, it's all these nurses and doctors rushing in. And he's like, we're loading you up. You're going into emergency surgery. I'm like, hey, you need to call my wife. She's 2 hours away. She's on her way. You need to call her. He's like, yeah, we'll call her as soon as you get into surgery. I'm like, no. You need to call her right now. And so he did. He called her right in front of me and told her that I'm going into emergency surgery, told her where we were at. And luckily, and then they put me on the thing, rushed me into the emergency surgery. And that was it, man. It was a whole crazy situation. And, to me, it's like I never thought it was that bad. Even after the surgery or whatever, like, I was like, it didn't really hit me till weeks later that I realized man, I almost just died. Like, and they told my wife, like, they called her while I was in surgery, I guess, and told her, like, you need to get here as fast as you can. Like, this is bad. You need to get here as fast as you can. When she got there, the doctor's like, he barely made it. He had 2 minutes to live. If it was any longer, he would have been dead. And I was just like, I had like 2 liters of blood in my stomach that they pumped out. I had to get a blood transfusion and all that. But it was just crazy, man. And all the things that added up, McDonald's, I mean, everything, the delay, you know, a little bit longer past that exit is the mountains. And like I said, it's just nothing. You know, you're going through these windy roads, nothing. So I would have been a goner. Like, all the things added up, you know, God, angels watching out for me. I mean, definitely had it. Pulled into a church parking lot, hospital, not only just a hospital, a trauma hospital was 2 miles away. And if it was a regular hospital, they would have had to life flight me to a trauma hospital. So like I said, man, it's just a lot of things added up. And, you know, that led me to be able to be here today. It's just crazy.
Someone or something is definitely looking over you, man.
Yeah.
Like you just explained, it's just, it all worked out. It all played out perfectly to where you had the surgery, you got through everything. Man, it's like, what blows my mind is that you went blind and your vision came back. And then when you got to the hospital, do you even mention that? Because right now you say you're so nonchalant about it.
Yeah, no, I didn't. And so that's I mean, my wife's like, you could have just been more clear with the ambulance or whatever. They would have took you right into a room. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm like, man, I really thought, like, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be fighting next weekend. Like, that's all I had in my head is, like, I'm fighting next weekend. Like, I'm in the best shape of my life. And I was, like, and gosh, that probably helped save my life too. It's just the shape I was in was just, I mean, the best shape I've ever been in. And I was the best version of myself for sure going into that fight week. But man, it was crazy.
Man, we were saying earlier before the interview that this is like your second major surgery in the last year and a half or so, and going through that ordeal, you know, with the back, it must have helped you in this recovery that you're going through right now, man, battling the demons. Did the demons come back a little bit again, you know, because you mentioned that before?
Yeah, I wouldn't say so, as definitely not. But there was a lot of frustration. I think more frustration this time around than probably my back. With my back, it was kind of like they gave me, you know, dates and times and, you know, amount of time that I would need to do certain things and the physical therapy things that I'd need to do. And, you know, I'd be able to work my way back to get into training and all this. With this, it's like, okay, we can't tell you when you can go back to training. We can't tell you when you can do anything. We can't tell you, we don't know if you will be able to fight again. We don't know if you'll be able to take a shot or not. We recommend you stop fighting. That's what they told me. You stop fighting. We recommend that you don't get hit there anymore or anything. And the hard part is that, like, yeah, we've had other athletes, high-level athletes, to play sports and have, you know, the same thing or, you know, worse, where they did rupture their appendix or whatever. And gosh, I feel like the appendix is not the right thing, or maybe it is. I don't know. It just sounds weird saying it now, but but yeah. And so they said, but in those sports, you know, those people wear a girdle or you know, what is it? Kevlar, like girdle type thing, vest that covers it. So they're not taking direct shots to that area. And if they do, they have, you know, that vest on. Where me, you know, I can't wear that kind of stuff. And people are going to directly aim for my stomach or whatever. I mean, they did, not just because of the surgery or whatever, but they did before. And I don't hold anything against whatever, you know, but so yeah, that is the hard part. And the thing is like getting back into it has been rough. It's almost been harder than my back because, you know, at the timeline they said, okay, you know, you can just walk for now. And then, you know, at this time you can kind of start picking it up a little bit and trying some stuff. And I had a lot of setbacks. You know, I ended up getting some tears in where they did the surgery, alongside it, like just re-tearing it. And so not the external, but internal. And so, I had to take a break and not do anything and go back to just walking. And so I've had a lot of that. I've had like 2 tears come up. But they're all healed now, and I'm doing a lot better now. I've definitely kind of reevaluated some of the stuff that I was doing, and, definitely pulled way back and took it a lot slower at a slower pace. Big shout out to my coach, because he's the one who's kind of regulating everything and regulating me, making sure I'm not going too hard, and, kind of laying out my workouts and everything of what I should be doing and what I need to be doing, and the game plan, getting back to where we want to be. And that's stepping back in the octagon.
What are the doctors telling you right now at this moment?
So right now, so the last doctor I saw was when I had my last tear, and I saw them, and we had that conversation of, I'm like, hey, I was doing fine. And then I kind of, started to try to pick it up a little bit. And then now this happened, and they're like, yeah, you need to really take a good couple week break, let that heal, and then start really slow. And at that point, it was like, okay, we need to reevaluate everything we're doing and reset and kind of go from there and change things up. But they told me the same thing. It's just like, listen, we can't legally, and whatever, from everything I've learned from school or whatever, like, we can't recommend you fight anymore. Like, this is, we can't say what can happen. Could it rupture? Could you rupture something else? Could it rupture again? Are you weaker in that point? What, they don't know. They can't say. So it's going to be, they just said, it's really on you. Like, if you want to still fight, it's on you. And, basically you just have to test it out. If you can train and everything, you do that, well, then the real test is going to be, well, can you take a shot? Can you take a body shot? Are you going to be able to do that? And once that's going to be able to tell you right then, and that's pretty much what they say is it's only, up to what I can take, really. And they can't tell me, anything about it. Like, it's a person by person thing, but it definitely more at risk, I guess.
So your focus is on getting back, training 100%, and then attempting to fight again. And it's all up to the doctors, basically, when you get to the UFC and get to fight week and get examined. And is it up to them pretty much?
No, I don't think so. I think like these doctors, they've cleared me. Mm-hmm. I'm cleared right now. But to say I'm cleared for competition is not accurate. I'm not cleared for competition. And I definitely wouldn't, as much as I want to, and as much as if I got a fight offer right now for a week from today, I would love to take, not even in shape or anything, but that's just me and my pride and just wanting to compete. But no, I'm not ready. And, when it comes time, I'm doing everything I need to do to test myself. And well before I get into the octagon again, I will have tested myself and made sure that I can take a shot and that I'm ready to go. Because if I can't, at that moment, it's time to reevaluate my career and do something different. Ultimately, my health is the most important thing. I got a family I need to be here for. That's even more important, especially after this situation and everything that's happened. Just crazy that you can be gone in 1 second, so yeah, it's tough to think about because, with that said, it's like, man, well, shit, do I just, not try? Do I just not do it and not risk it? What if I get hit and bleed internally again, and this time it doesn't land on my side? It's like, it's definitely tough to think about, and honestly makes me emotional about it. Like, it's just, I don't know. I want to do it for myself. I want to do it to show that I can come back from something so traumatic. I want to do it for my family. right now I'm bringing in the money. I'm not bringing in any money right now. So, but I want to do it for them. I want to do it for my family. I want to do it for my kids and show them that, just because people say that, hey, you should, that's it, you should do it or whatever, doesn't mean you have to. There's ways. Obviously, if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. But you know what? I'm not going to not try. So I'm doing everything I can and to be safe and everything. And honestly, I've already spoke with the UFC. They've been amazing. From the matchmakers, Sean Shelby, everybody, even the broadcast team, people reaching out, everybody, have been amazing, showing nothing but support and everything. And, they've really helped me out and took care of me and everything. So helped me set up doctor's appointments and everything. So, I'm super excited to get back. And honestly, I'm shooting for July, man. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there, put a date on it. I'm shooting for July. I already told the matchmakers, I pushed for earlier. But the matchmakers kind of pulled me back a little bit, and my coach was like, hey, whoa, what are you doing? But I got the okay from my coach. So it's like, we're shooting for July. Training's going really well right now. I'm back into training. I haven't taken a body shot yet, but we'll make sure that's taken care of and the steps are done to get in there for July. But yeah, if they sent me a match for July, we're getting ready to go. So that's the goal, man.
That's what makes you different. You know what I mean? That's why you're cut from a different cloth, is because most people would have been like, nah, I'm going to hang it up, man. It's like, even if they're not fighting, if they were doing something else, they would have still hung it up. But for you, that's what makes you different. That's what makes you Bam Bam. And, that's what everybody wants. And, you've been gone for a while. That's why everybody's like, where is he? You know what I mean? Like, we need to see him back. I'm pretty sure that's why a lot of people reached out. I'm pretty sure the support is insane.
Yeah, man, it's tough too. Cause like you said, I'm coming off the back surgery, year layoff, or a little over a year since being in the octagon, had my last fight, fought. I'm ready to, I won. And have this matchup with Rodriguez ready, and I'm ready to freaking go on my run. This is it. We're ready. We're doing it. This is the time. We're going on the run. Oh, wait, throw the brakes on. Emergency surgery coming in. So yeah, it's super frustrating. And now I'm working my way back from that. And man, so what? So what? The cards didn't go my way. The things didn't add up. For that time, doesn't matter. When we come back, we're going on our run. That's it. It's what's coming. So, for those, the real ones who know me and always follow me, always appreciate the love, and they know what's coming. For those who don't, you're about to find out and enjoy the ride.
For sure, man. July sounds good, man. Hopefully everything, lines up perfectly so you can return in the summer. Do you want to rebook the Rodriguez fight? Because that was a fire matchup, man. I think a lot of people are excited for that one.
Yeah, I was super pumped for that fight. And, when this all happened, I'm like, I told the matchmakers, like, man, that's the fight. He's a banger. He brings it. It's an exciting fight. I seen that he was booked with Mike Perry or whatever. So, if the matchup doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I would love to, whoever wins out of him and Mike Perry, and I'll take Mike Perry. I love that fight. Rodriguez, I'll match that up. Both those guys, they both come to throw down, and I'd love to take the winner of either one.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal fight, either one of those. Now, I saw the picture of the scar, man, from the bottom of your stomach to the top of your stomach. It's pretty, I don't know. It's just, I think every time you enter the cage from now on, everybody's going to see that, and they're going to be like, man, this guy, he is a monster, man. He's a beast, man. How you go through that and just enter the octagon and fight again?
Yeah, I don't know. I have people telling me like, well, that's like a target, man. They're going to try to hit you there. I'm like, well, they tried to hit me there before, probably because I didn't have abs or anything, but whatever. Like, let them try. They can take some punishment for trying.
Rather than a target, I think that it's just a reminder for people, that this guy, he's been through everything. So whatever you throw at him, it's not going to be enough.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm going to be there. I'm going to keep on coming. So.
All right, Bryan, man, it's good to catch up, man, and hear that incredible story, man. It's just, my mind is blown, man, what you have gone through in the last year and a half, and to be able to come back in July, man, I'm looking so forward to this. And whoever's watching this, man, follow him on Instagram, follow him on whatever platform you can follow him, man. It's a great story, a great journey. Thank you so much for the time.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Just want to say thanks to my wife and my kids, my family, everybody who's showing me support, everybody who reached out, and, through social media, through whatever, text message, anything. I just really appreciate the love, and it means a lot, going through a crazy moment like that, and just unbelievable the support that I have.